Hello, everyone. It's Sunflower Spirit here. I'm here to do your weekly reading. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Hope you're having a good week. So let's pull one of these Trust Your Vibes cards, and then I will get into your reading with the tarot. So, what is the message for everybody this week, please? What is the energy for this week? What is the energy for this week? Listen to your heart. Number 44. So that's good. And then get a new story. Interesting, interesting. Listen to your heart and get a new story on the bottom. So this week I feel like you're going to be making heart decision. There's some sort of heart decision, possibly. It is possibly has to deal with like the story you tell yourself about yourself or about your situation. So that's pretty cool. I like that. 44 or an 8, and then we have 41 or 5. So let's get into the tarot and see what else we have going on this week. So, what is the message, please? Yeah, connecting your heart and your mind, aligning yourself with your values, I'm getting. Reframing your story, I'm getting. How can you tell your story to yourself in a way that aligns with yourself, with your values? So, what is the message, please, for this week for everybody? What is the message, please? Sorry, can you guys see that? Here we go. What is the message, please, for this week? Show me what the message is, please, for this week. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have the Princess of Swords or the Page of Swords. And what is the message, please? We have the Empress. And what is the message, please? We have the King of Swords. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups. So I feel like there's some sort of you are in the energy of being abundant, like all around. Also, there's an energy of like some sort of creative ideas, like you're coming up with ideas. Just because we have the Empress surrounded by the Princess of Swords and the King of Swords, swords are about like thoughts and communication. So you're very abundant with your thoughts, your communication, with your creativity. Um, being very wise about your stability and abundance, about your um divine connection. I just heard divine connection. You're also, yeah, there's something that you're birthing, like birthing an idea of something or birthing like a creative pursuit or something. There's something going on with that. And you are trying to find out information, you're gaining wisdom, and you are also being um you could be being very logical about this. However, I do have to mention just, you know, to try not to be too like detached with the situation. I feel like there's a lot going on. There's kind of like an emotional overwhelm, and that's why you kind of went to your mind. But we do have this listen to your heart, which I think is interesting because we have these swords here. So I really feel like that's saying, you know, you are thinking about this logically, you are wanting to strategize it, but that might not be the best way to take. And maybe strategizing it is how you get this new story, like how you're going to be able to get this new story, but ultimately it's going to come down to a heart decision and what is going to be fulfilling for you, like how you're going to be able to fill that. I feel like it could be a little bit overwhelming. There could be a lot of communication, a lot of thoughts that are like overwhelming you, but universe is saying that you are grounded with this Empress. You are grounded, you are abundant, you have a lot to offer. You also have the creative ability to birth you know, the story that works for you. So that's beautiful. I am going to clarify these cards and we'll see if we can get a bigger picture. That's pretty straightforward, but I'll clarify anyway. Show me why this Princess of Swords is here, please. Why is this Princess of Swords here? We have the Fool. And show me why this Empress is here, please. Why is this Empress here? We have the Ten of Wands, or Ten of Rods. And show me why this King of Swords is here, please. Why is this King of Swords here? We have the Two of Cups. Very interesting. And then on the bottom we have the Eight of Wands. Okay, so yeah, so from the beginning, I'm getting the Princess of Swords with the Fool here is telling me that you are kind of researching, you're doing your homework, you're trying to figure out, you're trying to learn about something that's new. There's a new journey, you're starting a new journey with something. Um, and this is causing you to be this sort of learner. You're in this kind of like learner energy. You want to find out as much information as you can. You want to be informed about it. Really good energy with that Princess of Swords and the Fool. With the Empress and the Ten of Rods, this is you, like I said, it's being abundant. Um, but I feel like this is really stressful for you. There's something that's really stressful for you. Um, and it's like you know you're stable, but it still is like really stressing you out. Like you're afraid, and maybe you're afraid of burnout. Maybe, and I think that's why you're trying to gather all this information because you know this is a new journey. You know this is something new that you don't know that much about. And with the Empress here, you are abundant and you do have the capacity to like create this in a way that works for you, where you can like sit on your throne, so to speak, where you can have everything that you need to be successful, but it is a somewhat of a burden, and there is a little bit of fear of that burnout with the 10 of wands. With the King of Swords and the Two of Cups, you are trying to strategize, you're trying to be wise about this has to deal with your connections with other people, how you're connecting to other people. The Two of Cups is about connection. It doesn't have to, I'm not necessarily getting this in a romantic sense, but it could be. But I just feel like in general, it's about like, how are you going to be wise about your connections? Because whatever this new journey is, this is why you're researching. This is why you're stressed about being in this Empress position, because you know you're in this position of sort of like power. I guess I want to say power. Maybe there's like a power differential. And so you're wanting to be wise about your connections. So you're trying to be like logical about your connections. And I think that's why we have the listen to your heart, because you're trying to logic out your connections. And really you just need to go from your heart. You just need to make these decisions from the heart instead of from the head. I mean, it's always good to like find out your information, but I think there's a point where you could get to like being too logical about things that aren't requiring logic. They're really just requiring like love, or they require you to come from that like more vulnerable place. Like I know for me, sometimes I do use that logical part as a means to like avoid the fear, or the fear involving around like rejection, or being vulnerable and not having that go over well. So it's kind of like using both and knowing when, getting a new story, recognizing when you need to use this logic and when you need to use your heart. So kind of being wise in that. With the Seven of Cups and the Eight of Wands, this is like the overall energy for me. So this is kind of like underlying, this is the theme of the whole reading. You are feeling overwhelmed because there's a lot coming at you. There's a lot of communication. There could be like a lot of communication, a lot of messages, a lot of things coming at you. And so that's kind of why you're in this Princess of Swords energy, where you're like trying to sort through, like, what do I need to take? What can I throw out? And it's a little bit emotional, overwhelming, but I feel like this is also healing because there's a starfish here, and starfish are about they're kind of like the star card, like they're about this healing process. So I feel like this is really going to be emotionally healing for you, but it's just sort of like taking care of yourself. It's about not allowing this stress or this burden to overwhelm you, because It is underlying. Like, yes, you are feeling this a little bit, but more than that, I think you're feeling like more in your power. Like with the Empress here, this is like you being in your power. This is you connecting yourself, grounding yourself, creating a good foundation for yourself. And so I see this as really good that you have the Empress here. This is good energy, really, really good energy. So I'm going to take an Angels and Ancestors card, and then we will wrap up this reading. But this is beautiful energy. I love it. It looks like it's going to be a good week. There might be a lot going on this week, but I feel like it's going to really be favorable to you. So we have Stag, Trust, and Thrive. So this one I can already tell you, this is going to be more of that kind of like earth energy. And then we have Sage on the bottom. Be devoted and committed. So yeah, it's already like telling me what we already know. That this is like you being, this is like that earth energy, kind of like the Empress, just like being grounded and knowing your worth. But sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say, so that's why I was like that. But okay, let me find this one and I'll read this one for you. Stag. So Stag Spirit. Where is it? I don't see it. Okay, 132. So come alive and thrive. Stand in your light and glory with grace and majesty. The stag card brings graceful and powerful medicine into your life. In the Celtic traditions, the stag with the crown of antlers is known as the king of the forest and is a totem that brings protection in challenging times. In Native American traditions, he is greatly loved, for stags and deer have provided food for the people and materials that have allowed them to create medicine items such as drums, rattles, and smudge fans. Although the stag has been hunted in the past and still is, he has strength, dignity, and poise. When this card arises, it can also represent fertility and sexuality, maybe an opportunity to explore your sexual side with your spiritual integrity supporting you on the journey. So that's beautiful. I love this message for you guys. I hope this resonates. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I will talk to you guys later.